abhikkante, paṭikkante, sampajānakārī, hoti, ālokite, vilokite, sampajānakārī, hoti, samiñjite, pasārite, sampajānakārī, hoti, in looking straight ahead and in looking away from the front, he applies clear comprehension. And samiñjite, pasārite, in bending and stretching his limbs, he applies clear comprehension. In bending and stretching, there is only the intention and the action. There is no soul, no permanent entity, no I, no person, no individual that bends or stretches. Seeing this way is called clear comprehension of non-delusion in your bending and stretching. So in bending and stretching, you practice, and also you must understand the 4 kinds of clear comprehension. Clear comprehension of purpose, clear comprehension of suitability, clear comprehension of domain, and clear comprehension of non-delusion. In order to attain the state of clear comprehension of non-delusion, you practice meditation diligently. It is not easy way to comprehend clearly. So you must apply mindfulness whenever you bend or stretch. When mindfulness meditation is practiced until clear comprehension of domain matures, clear comprehension of non-delusion arises by itself. The commentary gives 4 more ways to understand clear comprehension of non-delusion. They are by way of khanda aggregates, by way of basis ayatana, by way of elements dhatu, and by way of causal condition patthana. By way of aggregates, what is seeing? What is there when you see something? There must be eye sensitivity, retina, as something to be seen. Both the eye sensitivity and the visible object are aggregates of matter, rupa aggregates. There are 5 aggregates, aggregates of matter, rupa aggregates, feeling aggregates, vedana aggregates, siñña aggregates, saṅghāra aggregates, and vijñāna aggregates. So when you see something, the eye's sensitivity and the visible objects are aggregates of matter. C is the aggregates of consciousness. The feeling concomitant of that seeing consciousness is feeling aggregates. The perception concomitant of that seeing consciousness is perception aggregates. Other mental factors that are concomitants of seeing consciousness are aggregates of mental formation. So at the moment of seeing only these five aggregates, you just note seeing very attentively, and you may capture. So need to remember, recite again. Can you follow me? At the moment of seeing, the eye sensitivity and the object of sight are rupa aggregates. Feeling pleasant or unpleasant is vedana aggregates. Recognizing or remembering the object is sañña aggregates. Exercising the will to see and turning the attention on the object is saṅghāṭa aggregates. Seeing or knowing that object of sight is vijnana aggregates. So when these five aggregates come together, there is looking straight ahead and looking sideways, ālokite, vilokite, sampajānakārī, hoti. You capture these five aggregates. So who is it that see? Who is it that looks this way or that way? Just these five aggregates. By way of five aggregates, you can understand that seeing is just the working of phenomena. There is no person, no self, no soul entity, or whatever involved in it. In order to see that, you need to practice. You must understand the five aggregates. You must recognize each aggregate and know its function. Seeing can also be understood according to the 12 bases. When you see, you know seeing, and you can recognize the eye base. The eye sensitivity is eye base. The visible object is form base. Seeing is mind base. The concomitants of mind are dharma base. When these four bases come together, there is looking straight ahead and looking sight away. So how can there be an agent, any I, any self or whatever? And also you may also understand seeing by way of elements. There are 18 elements. The eye sensitivity is eye elements. Visible object is form elements. C is eye consciousness elements. And the concomitants such as feeling and other mental factors are Dhamma elements. So when these four elements come together, there is looking straight ahead and looking sight away. So if you note, if you practice continuously seeing, you can capture these elements and there can be no atta, no self or no I in the act of seeing. In clear comprehension of non-delusion, according to causal relation, the eye sensitivity serves as a support condition. The visible object serves as object condition. The consciousness preceding the seeing consciousness serves as proximity condition. That means that there is no gap between that consciousness and seeing consciousness. The light serves as decisive support condition. Feeling and other mental factors serve as connascent condition to that seeing consciousness. So seeing consciousness is supported by many conditions. When these conditions come together, there is looking straight ahead and looking sideways. There can be no atta, no self, no ego, no I that see. There are just these conditions coming together. And when that happens, there is what we call seeing. To understand this condition, you know just seeing when you see something. Understanding in this way with reference to aggregates, bases, elements and causal condition is called clear comprehension of non-delusion in looking straight ahead and looking sight away. Ālokite, vilokite, sampajānakārī, hoti. Meditators who do not have a knowledge of Abhidhamma may not see looking straight ahead and looking sideways in this way. If you do not see, don't think that you are doing something wrong. Don't think. Though you may not see in this way, you can be aware of the seeing and the object that is being seen. You can be aware of the consciousness preceding and the seeing. You can be aware of some of the other moments, except For someone like the Buddha, it is very difficult to see all of them, for mind comes and goes very quickly. You may understand that in the snap of the fingers, in the twinkling of an eye, or in the flash of lightning, there can be millions and millions of thought moments. You are watching your time all the time, you may understand. Mind is very active. Every state of mind to be observed is not too easy, but meditator have to try to see the kinds of that state of mind. You may have guessed that some kinds of thinking is involved in these various approach to clear comprehension of non-delusion. When meditation teacher give instruction, meditation teacher tell you not to think of anything, but to watch and be mindful. Meditation teacher give instruction to you. In the beginning, it is good not to think of anything. Just be mindful of the things presented to you, because you cannot afford to have distraction at the time. But when you have progressed to this stage, you can do a little thinking. Actually, the vipassana knowledge called comprehension knowledge means thinking. First, you see directly the impermanent nature of mind and matter. Then, from the impermanence of present psychophysical phenomena, you infer the impermanence of past and future things. So this indirect or inferential vipassana is just thinking, but it is not thinking devoid of any direct understanding. First, there is direct understanding. Then, based on that direct understanding, you think of something. So although there is inferential thinking, it is based on experience, the experience of direct understanding. There is no harm in doing a little thinking when you have reached this stage. So as the discourse on the four foundations of mindfulness, Maha-Satipatthana Sutta, make clear, mindfulness with clear comprehension applies even to bending and stretching of limbs, samiñjite, pasārite, sampajānakārī, hoti. Before bending and stretching the limbs, you first should find out whether it is purposeful to do so. Only when it is purposeful, you are to bend or stretch. When you sit with arms or legs bent or stretched out for a long time, you experience pain, maybe at every moment. If the pain is more than you can manage, you do not get concentration. Your meditation may fall away entirely, and you will get no results from the practice. But a meditator who bends or stretches his or her limbs at the right time does not experience pain. When there is no pain and you are comfortable, you get concentration of mind. Your meditation develops and you get results from the practice. This is the comprehension of purpose in bending and stretching. And when is the right time to bend or stretch? When practicing meditation, you need a little comfort. There's no need to suffer pain without reason. So you have sat for a long time and feel real pain. And that pain is an obstacle to your meditation. Then you may change your posture in order to ease your pain so meditation can continue. We should practice the middle way here by not stretching or bending as soon as unpleasant feeling arises, but only when pain becomes unbearable and is an obstruction to meditation. Then we may bend and we may stretch our arms and legs. The next step is clear comprehension of suitability in bending and stretching. Although bending and stretching may be purposeful and beneficial, if you do it at the wrong moment, at the wrong time, there can be undesirable consequences. The commentary describes several disastrous incidents. Once on the terrace of a great religious shrine, some young monks were reciting the Dharma teaching. Sitting in the back of them was some young nuns listening to the recitation. One of the young monks accidentally touched a nun while he was stretching his arm towards the back. Because of this unmindful action, coming into bodily contact with a female, he became a layman. For by getting involved, they had to disrobe. So another monk, in stretching his leg, extended it into a fire where his foot was burned to the bone. This monk seemed to have been very careless. It must have been a very great fire to have burned his foot to the bone, but he was not conscious or he was not aware of the flames. Yet another monk stretched his leg into an anthill where he was bitten on the foot by a poisonous snake. As the snake was poisonous, that monk must have died. Another monk was less unfortunate. He stretched out his hand until it rested on the pole of a tent made of ropes. A ribbon snake on the pole bit his hand, and the snake was not so poisonous. The monk may have suffered some pain, but he probably did not die. So when stretching or bending limbs, meditators must be mindful so that you do not suffer pain or you do not loss of life because of careless action. Clear comprehension of suitability is knowing whether it is suitable to bend or stretch at a particular time or particular place. Clear comprehension of domain means the practice of meditation. In this context, applying mindfulness whenever you bend or stretch is clear comprehension of domain. It is illustrated by the story of a senior monk. A great Thera once bent his arm quickly while seated in his day quarters talking to his resident monks. Then he brought his arm back to its original position and again bent it, but slowly this time. Curious, the other monks asked, Bande, after bending your arm quickly, after having placed it in its first position, why did you bend it slowly? Why did you take the arm back to the place and bend it again? The Thera replied, Friends, ever since I began to practice mindfulness meditation, I have never bent my arm without mindfulness. While I was talking with you, I forgot about mindfulness. Just then I bent without mindfulness. That is why I took my arm to the place and bent it again. And other monk said, It is good, Bande. A monk, a meditator should be like this. They said, in practicing meditation, meditators should not forget to be mindful of any bending or stretching of the arms or legs. There is the clear comprehension of domain in bending and stretching. It just means applying mindfulness to the bending and stretching of any limb. Then there is clear comprehension of non-delusion. The meditator sees that bending is only the diffusion of the process of oscillation. By the diffusion of air elements born of your mental activities, there is bending or stretching. It is like moving of legs and hands of a marionette. When the strings are pulled, you see clearly without confusion that in the act of bending or stretching, there are only the intention to bend or intention to stretch and the bending and stretching itself, nothing else. There is only the intention and the action. There is no soul, no permanent entity, no I, no person, no individual that bends or stretches. Seeing this way is called clear comprehension of non-delusion in bending and stretching. In bending and stretching, you must understand the four kinds of clear comprehension. Clear comprehension of purpose, clear comprehension of suitability, clear comprehension of domain, and clear comprehension of non-delusion. In order to attain the state of clear comprehension of non-delusion, meditator must practice meditation continuously. You must apply mindfulness whenever you bend or stretch. When your mindfulness meditation is practiced until clear comprehensions of domain matures and clear comprehension of non-delusion arises by itself. In the beginning, only the bending and stretching will be seen. At first, you may not even see the intention preceding it. But when you continue to practice, the intention will become clear. With your continuation of practice, you will become aware of the awareness of the bending and stretching. After seeing these three things clearly without mixing one with the other, you will come to see that in the act of bending, there is only the intention, the bending itself, and the awareness of the bending. Three things. You capture clearly the intention, the bending itself, and the awareness of the bending. Apart from these three things, there is no I, no soul, or whatever. When you see in this way, you will have perfected clear comprehension of non-delusion in bending or stretching. But until reaching this stage, you must make effort in clear comprehension of domain, which opens the door to non-delusion. And the next application of clear comprehension is saṅghāṭipattacīvaradhāraṇe sampajānakārī hoti, wearing the robes and carrying the almswell. You apply clear comprehension. In this Maha-Satipatthana Sutta was given to monks. The Buddha talked about clear comprehension of these two important aspects of monastic daily life. But Buddha teaching on these matters can be adapted and applied to lay life and are just as valid for lay people as for monks. In wearing the robes and handling the bowl, a monk must apply clear comprehension. Here, the purpose of picking up the bowl after putting the robes is to go out for alms round. So getting food is the purpose. Whenever the monk puts on his robes, he is expected to make this reflection, Pichavakana, Pati Sinka Yoni Sa Jivaram Parisevami, etc. I wear robes. I use robes for keeping out cold, for keeping out heat, for keeping out bites of insects, and just to cover myself up, and not for any other purpose. So a monk have to make the kinds of reflection. If he does not remember to make the reflection every time he picks up the robe, he must make it at least once each day to remind himself of the purpose of wearing robes. Monks wear robe not to beautify themselves, not to take pride in their robes, but to just ward off cold, heat, and insect bites, or to cover themselves. Suitability of the robe itself should also be considered. To one who is naturally warm-bodied, fine clothing is suitable. To one who is sensitive to heat, thin clothing is suitable. Also to the person who is weak, a thin robe is unsuitable. In the olden days, robes were made of thick cloth. When that thick cloth was made into a double layer robe, saṅghāṭi, it becomes very heavy. If a monk wearing it was caught in the rain, it would become so heavy that he would have to find a pole and carry it on his shoulders. So such robes are not like those of today. which are fine and thin. Nowadays, there is a choice of thick robes or thin robe, but in the early days, a monk had to accept what was given. A thick or heavy robe is unsuitable for one who is weak. If one is sensitive to cold, however, a thick or double layer robe is suitable. An worn out robe is unsuitable because it is a hindrance. You have to patch it up, you have to sew it, you have to darn it. So this means having to take time away from your practice of meditation. So an old worn out robe with loose stitch and holes here and there is not suitable for anybody. Also troublesome are robes of silk, fine, hemp, and similar materials that can arouse greed in thieves. A silk robe is expensive, and if thieves see it, they may want to steal that robe. So silk or other costly robes are not suitable for the monk who is living alone, especially the monk who is living alone in the forest. Such robes invite loss of clothing and loss of life, for a monk could even be killed by thieves wanting to take his robe. So though expensive robes are unsuitable for the monk who lives alone in the forest, they may be all right for the monk living in the monastery with many other monks. So saṅghāṭipattacīvaradhāraṇe, sampajānakārī hoti, in wearing the three robes and in carrying the bowl, he applies clear comprehension. So we will continue next time. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing vipassana meditation, by applying clear comprehension, by noting, rising, falling, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, continuously and meticulously, may all meditators be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.